Garbage Time Sports with Hoot and BT. Let's do it. The finals. The finals are the NBA finals are going on. If you didn't know, which if you didn't know, I don't know why you're
Living
listening to
under
this
a
portion.
rock.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm actually really surprised. Boston leads 2-1.
Apparently, the odds makers aren't because they still standing firm on their like upper 80%.
Yeah,
Boston's
hey,
going to win this. Where do they know that we don't know?
The Simpsons had to have called it, and we don't know about it. We haven't seen it.
Referees, maybe, perhaps.
Come on, Draymond, leave it alone.
There's that as well.
Yeah,
Well, there's people that are awfully upset that the night of the loss, he also managed to put out a podcast. In the past, 3 games, he's had 15 points, 15 fouls, and 8 podcasts.
Yeah, and whoa, hey Draymond, just because apparently you're just cool with podcasts, you can come fly down to Arkansas in between game 4 and 5.
No, I support his right to make the podcast.
Sure.
I don't have an issue with it. If he's doing it on his own time in between games, that's the deal. What
Yeah,
I'm having
fans are
issues
gonna get
with
mad.
is some of the antics on the court aren't paying off.
Yeah, well, okay, so here's my deal. He said, what was it, like, I guess the referees just don't like me or something.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's still beating the crap out of people.
Getting away with murder out
Yeah.
there, as at least according to modern standards of NBA, for sure. Those
Like,
are
I mean,
fouls.
does he look like as aggressive as the Worm? No.
No, it looks like he's doing a poor man's Dennis Rodman impersonation, if you ask me.
Yeah, he gets out there and he's like, I'm a tough guy. And it's like, are you? I don't know.
Well, the thing is, Rodman took his detour and did WCW Monday Nitro during the finals.
Yeah, but
then he showed up in that next game, whipped some ass.
Yeah, and got 426 rebounds, 4 points, and 97 assists.
Yeah, because he always had to have his token 2 or 4 points.
Yeah, he just putbacks is all they
Yes,
were.
one rebound, got back in, yeah.
That was it, though. Dennis Rodman's stat line, 400 rebounds.
What's interesting is back in college, he did average like 20 points.
Yeah, sure.
It's just whenever he made the Pistons, when they drafted him, he made the roster, it was on his defense and his rebounding.
But that's
and he
because
never looked
Dennis
back.
Rodman was like... Dennis Rodman was a thug, man. Like
he never
was
focused on shooting.
Why would he? He's like, all I got to do is go out and punch that dude in the mouth, then I'm going to take the ball from him. If they don't call me, I'm straight. If they do, then it's a foul, whatever.
To me, Dennis Rodman has an incredibly fascinating career because he reminds me of, the old argument with Barry Bonds and steroids.
Yeah, sure.
There's Barry Bonds, there's skinny Barry Bonds before the roids, and there's Barry Bonds after.
Yeah.
Like
Just
he was
like
a Hall
this-
of Famer before.
Sure.
He was a Hall of Fame for sure baseball player before he ever went to San Francisco,
Yep.
took a bunch of steroids and hit home runs.
Yep.
Well, same with Dennis Rodman. For sure, Hall of Famer just off of what he did with the Bad Boys Pistons
Yeah.
alone. Well, then he met Madonna, and the rest is history.
Yeah. Like, he just started making a lot of, like, questionable decisions. But, it shaped Dennis Rodman into the Worm.
Yeah.
And that's who we know, man.
And that's why he was able to get away with the things that he was able to get away with because his
Go to
production on the
Vegas,
field. Yeah.
during
But
the
Draymond's
finals.
not pulling this off. So all he's doing is he causing a distraction?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. You can only pull this type of behavior off on a team that is built the way the 96, 97, 98, whatever that era. This was the 98.
Yes. The
Finals.
Dennis
Dennis
Rodman,
Rodman,
96, 97, 98.
Yeah, but particularly this WCW. That was
Oh, yes,
98.
yes. 96, 97, 98.
Okay.
He was in the NWO and appeared, I believe, during one finals time, but he
Yeah.
appeared during that season
Yeah.
and that playoff and stuff before.
Sure, yeah, but during the finals is
during
what I
the
said
finals
earlier.
in particular, he
Yeah.
took a break to appear on a Monday and so skip practice to go appear on a
Yeah.
Monday night television show.
And it wasn't unheard of for him to
didn't tell
skip out.
Didn't tell the team though.
No, but that was the whole thing. Though, was even Michael Jordan said he's like, it was just Dennis, man.
Dennis
that
was going to be Dennis.
Yeah, that was it.
Did he return in the 48 hours? Hell no.
No, but was he there at game time?
Yeah.
Yup. And did he put on a show? Yup.
Well, it was like he said that Dennis could be out partying all night, and then they would have practice, but Dennis was the one showing everybody else up in practice, making
Yeah.
a point to show that no hangover.
Yeah.
But where his focus, where his priorities lied, it's just Draymond doesn't seem to be doing that. He seems to be causing more of a detriment because
The entire league's softer now.
That's a fair point. But I mean, all I've had to hear is Steph Curry and Klay Thompson answer questions about
Draymond Green. Yeah.
That's all I've heard the whole time.
Why don't we ask Klay Thompson, like, hey, man, where's your shot at?
Yeah.
I mean, like, if we really want to talk about it, let's talk about Klay. Where's your shot? because
for
like
game
it
six?
ain't here.
Waiting on game 6.
Yeah,
brother.
I got news for you. You ain't gonna have a game 6 if you don't straighten it up at least one more time.
Yeah, and the
You know?
thing is you shouldn't have needed a game 6.
No, bro.
You guys had this.
That literally, Golden State has to win out for you to be correct, right?
Yeah.
They have to win out to be Warriors in 6.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way.
No.
This is
They have to really put a whooping on tonight and catch fire. And the way that this Boston Celtics team has performed this season,
Yeah.
they have been a team that where you punch them in the mouth, you
Yeah.
give them a chance to come back in round 2, they're going to
Yeah.
punch you right back.
yeah, and that pains me to say because I'm not a
No,
Boston guy. but
exactly,
my
same here.
goodness, I mean that's an impressive team.
And we can talk about the fans in a minute. We'll get to that.
yeah, those
But-
trash people, water trash.
But how do you feel about Jaylen Brown now? Now that you've had 3 games to watch him
Show out.
be Jaylen Brown.
Yeah. Well, he took his
All-star, right?
Yeah,
You can see it.
he ate his Wheaties.
Yeah,
you can tell.
There's something about him that's like he doesn't seem like he leaps off the page like he's the next superstar.
but man,
he's at least the next like Kawhi
Yeah.
Leonard, where he's going to be sneaky.
Yeah, but man, I'm telling you, I guess all that Boston's ever needed from me was just to talk some smack. Because as soon as I start talking
Did
smack,
you hear the F you Draymond? Clap,
No,
clap, clap, clap,
I
clap.
did not.
F you Draymond, clap, clap. It's been the talk of the last game.
Well, like, does everyone in the league hate him right now because of the way he's acting?
No, in particular, it's Boston. But
okay.
what happened is after Boston audibly had the "Fu Draymond" chant during the game, you could pick it up, and even the commentators had to mention there's an expletive-filled chant. He then took to his podcast to criticize the fans of Boston for their vulgarity of how the fans are.
Sure.
So with Boston's history of
Sure.
notoriously being a hostile environment,
Don't forget about Philadelphia; they're the same way.
animals, New
Yeah.
York.
Yeah. Well, come on now. In the Bronx, they're good people. Good people.
I'm just saying that it's always been hostilities.
Sure. In the Northeast, man, look, that's the truth. The
Chicago's a hostile environment for an outsider.
yeah, no,
Unless
yeah,
you're in Wrigley Field.
yeah. Then everyone's
Everybody's
like
just drunk.
everyone's drunk and having a good time. Hey, you want a beer? Yeah, but yeah, I mean, Boston basketball fans are garbage.
I don't care for it. This
look-
coming from a professional wrestling fan point of
Yeah.
view, where I hear, shut the F up
Yeah.
on a regular basis, or you can't wrestle, or all these negative chants.
Sure.
That's part of the show.
I about to say now, but
It's
here's
a
the deal.
PG-13 audience. This is
Yeah.
there's kids at this game.
Yeah,
man. It's a playoff game.
I'm gonna say that's my big thing. Is like this is nationally televised. There are children who go to these games. There's everything else. Like, look, man, I ain't trying to be like we need to clean up the airwaves.
I'm surprised you're not a little more upset about it. The fact that there was an audible, I'll clip
Yeah,
this,
man.
but fuck you, Draymond.
Sure.
Audible chant that you could hear
Yeah.
from the crowd.
I find it to be ridiculous.
And he's
one.
hamming it up because Draymond
Oh,
Green, he's
God,
loving
yeah.
it. This is stroking that ego. Yes.
I've got-
give me more.
Yeah, I'm in Boston. And that entire place is saying my name. That's the way he looks at it. Look, if you want Draymond Green to step up, then just keep doing it. Because I'm telling you,
You're going to fire him up. Like if he gets going
Hopefully.
and the crowd gets going back,
Sure.
yeah, we could have an interesting game.
But like back, we'll call it like the Model T, like 1901 Model T. You had that big thing, and it finally, oh man, then you got to do it again, cranking it over. You're trying to crank over your engine by hand.
Yeah.
That's Draymond Green. Steph Curry is just trying.
Yeah,
to
he's
crank.
doing his.
He's trying to crank,
he's
and like
showed
Draymond
up.
is locked
Jordan
up.
Poole has shown up.
Yeah.
The bench has shown up. There are some guys coming off the bench. Looney's getting some minutes.
Yeah.
Moody hasn't really got a chance to be put in the game.
No, but I'm here to tell you right now, though, unless
I
Klay
think
Thompson
they need
gets his
defense.
shot back and Draymond Green starts to contribute in any way besides making podcasts,
Yeah.
the Warriors will not come out of this.
I agree. If Draymond doesn't play well and Klay doesn't play well, they stand no chance.
Yeah, because look, man, all your other stars and your bench are playing well. And
People forget, even when Golden State was popping off on that run that they had in the third quarter of Game 2,
Yeah.
it was Curry and Poole that were igniting that team. It wasn't Draymond draining
No.
those threes. It wasn't Klay draining those threes.
Yeah.
I think he made one, but it's not his consistent,
No.
where he's dropping 7 in a row.
yeah, if
Headband
and-
Clay's big Game 6 Klay needs to step up in Game 5, Game 4.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, they can do it. And I'm not even trying to make a stab at Draymond Green. They can do it without Draymond, though. If Clay starts sinking his shots like he can, right?
Yeah.
And I think that they can do it without Clay. If Draymond will step up,
Can't do it without both.
but you cannot do it without both. There is no way that without Draymond, without Clay,
It's a fair point.
You do not win.
It's a
Not
fair
against
point.
this team.
I don't think that I'm going to say it right now. I think that Boston's going to win this series now. I think that it's officially gotten into the head of Draymond. And while Curry is the GOAT as far as shooting,
Yeah.
he can't do it by himself.
No. And Jordan Poole being a great,
wingman.
wingman on that, bro. They can. Maybe he's the new Splash Brother. The problem is you still got Klay Thompson on the court,
Yeah.
who's got all of this.
$100 million contract.
Yeah, and all of this
The Warriors are over the luxury tax.
for real, bro.
It's ridiculous. But the rest of the league hates that. But because the way that it's structured,
Yeah,
they can keep their own and pay basically whatever they want to pay.
yeah. That's like a grandfathered in type thing, and it was pretty. But I
Hey, they still have to pay the exorbitant luxury tax to
Sure,
be able to
sure.
accomplish it. But yeah, they can maintain their stars and
Yeah.
pay their stars this ridiculous money.
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know, man. I'm actually gonna keep the faith at least for now, and I'm gonna say Warriors in 7.
You think it stretches 7 now?
I do because I think they lose one more. I do. I don't think they. I do.
Is tonight the loss? And then they
That's kind of what
then
I
they
see.
take it out in Frisco, and then they come back, and then they have to.
I think that they got one more. Here's the deal: if they win tonight, if Golden State wins tonight
In Boston.
in Boston, if they win tonight, Warriors in 6.
That's fair.
If-
I would think so too.
Yeah.
But
If they lose tonight,
I'm still
it's
going to
gonna
go with Boston. I think Boston is the hungrier team. I think
They're playing
the
like it.
youthful team wants it. And
Yeah.
God dang it, Al Horford mixed
He's
with
like, give me my ring.
right him and Time Lord out of nowhere just going off. This
Yeah.
is an incredible finals. I hope it goes 7.
Yeah,
But I'm going Celtics in 6.
You want Celtics in 6 now, so
Yeah.
you have officially just
Switch.
a direct switch.
Yeah,
The
direct
same amount of
switch. The
games.
way that I've watched these 3 games, I feel like Golden State has only carried a quarter.
yeah,
1 quarter.
yeah, the third quarter of game 2.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
But anyway, now while we're still in the world of basketball,
Yeah. Yeah, speak on it. Speak on it.
okay, I was gonna say that there's some ridiculous crap that's going on out there in
Yeah.
the rumor sphere.
Yeah.
especially surrounding the Chicago Bulls. The name of the franchise is not just popping up in the name or in the sports world of people that follow Chicago sports, like I do or we do on this show.
Sure.
It's popping up in the national media. It's gaining some
Yeah.
popularity because I guess with the exit of Quinn Snyder as coach of Utah, there may be some selling going on, and one of the pieces that they may be willing to part with is Rudy Gobert.
Right.
And the name that's popping up is Chicago for a home.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal. I really like the idea of Rudy Gobert in Chicago. Okay. Rudy Gobert is, dude. Gobert's the truth. I'm just gonna say it. He's great. I think he's a great. He's what, 7 foot?
Yeah,
And-
he's a legit
and-
7
yeah,
footer.
he's a legit
Wingspan,
7-footer.
Leads the league in like blocks. He's a great rebounder,
And he's tough.
and he's tough.
He's
but,
tough. He can get hit. And
but he is not an offensive threat at all.
no, because he has zero. Like if he is standing, a 7-footer standing at the rim shouldn't be able to miss. Rudy can miss. But here's what I think. What was the proposed trade?
Which one? The first one was basically Patrick Williams
Yep.
and some draft picks and some cash and maybe Javonte Green.
Yes.
Or it was Kobe White. It was Kobe White.
No,
And-
no, that was on the other one. It was
Okay.
Javante on that one.
Okay, yeah, and they were going to trade that for Gobert.
Yeah.
and that
And
seemed
there was like some money involved too, I think.
yeah. There's some
But-
money involved to make up the difference, but you're looking at Gobert's contract is 4 years, $169 million. So that's why it's you have to have some moving parts to balance.
Sure,
that.
sure. So I actually don't hate that trade.
Giving up P. Will, he's a project. He was a
Yeah.
first round draft pick.
Yeah, Patrick Williams, man. This, and please understand, this ain't disrespect towards P. Will. It's really not. I don't hate that trade. Patrick Williams is going to be okay. He is young. He is talented. He's going to be fine. I feel like the iron is hot in Chicago.
Yes.
So it's time that the hammer strikes it.
Yeah, because
it's time to get that.
If you're looking at it, the team that is going to be your core is you're going to sign Zach probably to a long-term contract for another 5 years, 4 or 5 years here.
Yeah.
So you got him and you have Lonzo for sure, and that's your youth that you're building around because DeRozan is getting up in age, and at some point you're either going to have to decide if he's going to retire a Bull or if he's just going to move on.
Yeah, if he's going to have to go
because
out to greener
it's only
pastures.
because of his age. He's by far and away right now probably the best player on the team.
Well, and I don't know. DeMar DeRozan might be the best player of DeMar DeRozan's life right now.
Yeah,
he might be his best version.
He's in his prime. Is up here.
Yeah,
which is great for us as Chicago Bulls.
Yeah,
fans.
absolutely.
His scoring has never been better.
Right. So the other version of this trade was Gobert to Chicago. And I'm going to read off that one because we actually had it. I say that and then I can't find it. And here it is. Okay. So the mock trade would be Rudy Gobert.
Okay.
$38.1 million.
Yeah.
Okay. 4 years, 169.6. So we'll call it 170 million over 4.
The remaining contract.
Yeah. And then Utah future second round pick. Okay, that's what.
Okay, so a second round pick, got you.
Yeah, that's what Chicago would receive. What Utah would end up receiving, 2 Chicago first round picks.
Okay. Wait. This season's first round picks, because one of those picks is a
2022.
projected top like 18 pick. Yeah.
Yeah. 2022 and 2026 would be the 2
that's
first
steep
round.
in itself, but
Yeah,
okay.
that's
Gobert
steep, exactly.
Gobert's an all-star.
Yeah.
He is. He's a franchise-building piece.
But that's the whole point I'm making with this trade is that this is steep price for Rudy Gobert.
I'm following. That's
Javonte Green, $1.8 million.
okay. Fair enough. Go.
Kobe White, $7.4 million.
Oof. All right. He was a project at one point, but I think he's a movable part.
$22 million. Vooch.
Well, you gotta make room for Rudy, don't you?
No. And this is why. Okay, and it connects back to the original trade.
The first trade?
Sure. Get rid of P. Will, okay, and please, with all due respect, get rid of him, okay? Then work it like this. Work your Levine, DeRozan, Ball,
Okay.
Vooch,
Okay.
Gobert. You got 2 giants, one of which can shoot, so it's time that Voochie Boy works on his shot to make sure he gets a little more consistent.
Yeah.
And then he can start,
Assisting with getting an offensive game out of Gobert.
exactly.
If
because
Gobert can
he's-
develop an offensive game, you're looking at Joel Embiid level of dominance.
Yeah, exactly. And if you don't have Patrick Williams, you can pull that off because what is our big stars off the bench? They are not big men. They
None
are
of them.
guards.
They're guards.
So exactly. So you
power
keep
forwards are
everything else
smaller.
intact, right?
Yeah. Billy Donovan loves a small lineup,
Yeah,
and this is the opposite of a small lineup.
it would be, but
Well, Noah was a 7-footer though.
yeah, exactly. Joe Kim, we love you, bro.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know. I like the first trade as well, even though I don't like the idea of giving up on Patrick Williams this soon.
and see that's what I
But
keep saying.
you're moving him as a part.
Yeah, exactly. It's not really giving up on P. Will, man,
But-
because we all are like, yo, we know
But I
what
don't-
you are and what you will be, but you're not there yet.
I don't think you could get Vooch to play with Gobert. I don't think it would work.
You think they'd both be fighting over second fiddle?
I think
huh?
it would be an issue. I think they would get in each other's way. I really do.
I think it'd be like 2 giraffes fighting.
it'd be interesting to watch them both patrolling
They're just
a paint
neck
together.
fighting, man. Just kapah!
But yeah, no, I don't see that working out just for that reason. But I
Sure.
love that in concept. So if we
Yeah.
just go back to this trade and say we do trade Vooch away along with White and Green and those draft picks and get a draft pick back, and you got Gobert, what do you think about that starting lineup with Gobert?
Patrick
you re-sign
Williams.
Levine. You got Patrick Williams, you got DeRozan, and then you have Ball. Or you can switch out Caruso,
Sure, for Ball.
and take Williams out of the starting lineup. Hell,
Oh,
I don't
okay,
even
and
know.
go with a small lineup.
Yeah, because
that
that was
Billy
that
Donovan
was
likes.
their death lineup that they had last year.
They
when
would
were
usually
doing-
put Caruso in for
Yes.
P. Will. That way
Yeah,
they've got a 4-guard set.
Yes, they had Lonzo, they had Caruso, they had DeMar, Levine, and then Vooch.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. I think there's too many sheriffs in town when you got Vooch in there too. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. But Also, do you want to give up on this Vooch project? I guess he's very polarizing amongst Chicago
Yeah.
Bulls fans.
Yeah.
There's some
And-
people that say trade him now.
Yeah, seriously.
Trade him now. He is what's holding us back.
Yeah, and I guess it's because I'm on the opposite end of this magnet, on this pole. I'm like, how is he holding us back? Like, what are you talking about? He had a great season
Because they think that you can get more productivity
Yeah.
out of that position.
out of Gobert, but Gobert sucks offensively.
Yes, you lose the offensive threat, but you gain so much more on the defensive end with the rebounding,
that's
with the
very
offensive
true, and with the
rebounds.
blocks.
Personally, I think Gobert needs to go to a 3-point shooting team because if Billy Donovan and this Bulls teams were to get Gobert, they would have to reimagine how they do
Yeah.
their team. They're not going to drive to the basket.
Yeah.
They're going to go long range and hope that Gobert picks off offensive rebounds.
Yeah, and puts them back in.
And
which
puts
is
them back in, which is-
now, getting the rebound, I believe in him.
Yeah,
but
he's gone off a couple times for like 20 points here and there,
but he's not known for it.
He's heavy for almost. You're going to get almost
Yeah.
20 rebounds a game out of him, which
Yeah.
is good work.
Yeah,
and you may
it's
get.
real
He
good work.
averages over a block.
Yeah.
so
You're going to get a couple blocks a game. More
Nobody's
than likely.
going to the paint.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Yeah, Gobert can stop.
Giannis might be able to push him around a little bit, but who can't Giannis put him
yeah,
around?
I would say, but Giannis isn't human either. He's from
Yeah.
the same place Elon is, except like on the opposite side of the planet.
That
where it's
blinking
physical-
light?
Yeah, that blinking light.
The Antetokounmpos and the Musks.
Yeah, that's it, man. I'm convinced.
They
of it.
even sound like
Yeah, the Muskakumpos.
Elon, Giannis.
Hmm.
They would be hidden amongst the Greeks, wouldn't they?
So dramatic sounding, hidden amongst the Greeks. Yeah, so I don't know, man. This Gobert trade is
Well, the question is, why did Snyder jump so quickly? Like, why did he want out of that Utah situation?
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So crazy things going on in Utah, and you said you had something else.
Yeah, I had a question for you because there's a position open in Utah now.
Right.
They got a head coach. He stepped down.
Got it.
All right.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, you also recently had an opening with Los Angeles because they let their guy go.
Yeah.
And the Knicks are always just a floating door of whoever they're there.
So the revolving door of coaches.
The revolving door of coaches.
Yeah.
So I posed this question to you off air, and you yet to give me an answer.
Sure.
If all things, considered as far as money or whatever you're looking for,
Sure.
you are given an opportunity to coach either Utah and rebuild with what's there in that small market,
Sure.
the Los Angeles Lakers, Showtime, LA, the history, the dynasty that is there, and you're getting LeBron James and Anthony Davis as talent on your team roster anyway.
Sure.
And Russell Westbrook. I don't want to be disrespectful. Russ had a bad year. Maybe
Yeah.
he can come back. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Or play himself out of the league. Who knows?
Yeah. Either way, that's your business.
Yeah, that's on you, Russ.
Yeah.
That's, coming from a fan standpoint, that's on you,
Yeah.
buddy. You turn this around.
Yeah.
Or the New York Knicks, which you get Derrick Rose and you get the New York Knicks. I guess R.J. Barrett is
Yeah.
Obi Toppin. You got some raw talent there, but you're
Yeah.
very young. But rebuilding, where would you rather rebuild your legacy at? And imagine if you were able to pull it off. We'll also put that scenario in there. You're able to win a championship.
Okay, so just in general, or am I on a first year? Am I in a
No, this is you. You're taking
Just-
over this
just- I'm
franchise.
gonna take it over and build it
You're-
into something.
You're the owner. You're the general manager, and
Gotcha.
you also, if you want, you can coach this. I wouldn't say player coach. I wouldn't recommend it.
right? Honestly, I think Utah would be out for me.
Is it the Marcus too small?
Yeah, because and it ultimately comes down to this. Like everyone always says,
Nobody wants to play in Utah.
Boom, that's it. That's exactly it. And you always hear, with enough money, they'll go anywhere. They don't have to live there, blah, blah, blah. That's not the point. Look, during the season, you live
In that city.
In
Your
that
family
city.
lives in that city.
Yeah.
That's what you got to remember. That's your home facilities.
Who wants to live in Salt Lake City besides the Mormons? You know what I mean? And Rudy Gobert. I mean,
the Frenchman.
yeah. And if you're a Mormon, I don't know. I'm not going to issue an apology. I don't even know.
God, the last episode was the one we were going to get canceled.
Yeah, well, nobody's going to stand up for the Mormons. That's actually tough, though, between New York and LA for me.
Between bringing back the Knicks, who haven't
Yeah.
won a championship in while.
It's been some time.
But
yeah.
New York is the mecca of basketball.
Yeah, somehow.
Well,
I mean, it's at the Madison Square Garden.
It's Rucker Park.
Yeah. You do anything. It's basketball, baby. It's New York. Anyway, that was a terrible accent, by the way. But at the same time, you have the exact same scenario going on in Los Angeles, right? Because, like, who aren't you going to be able to convince to come play in LA?
right?
Call anyone like, hey, do you want to come play basketball in Los Angeles and be a Laker? They're going to be like, yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds great. Let's
You
do
mean
that.
the place that Magic played and Kobe played and Shaq played
Yeah,
and
and,
they have LeBron James now? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Again,
And the man himself, he was more like a fuzzy Mamba back then. He's bald Mamba now, but
Yeah.
I mean, Alex
he
Caruso.
he still brings the name of the Lakers up, which can't blame him. He won a championship with that team.
Yeah,
he
man.
was that was the biggest mistake that they made is he was a core to that franchise.
Yeah,
And
he
they
was,
bet on
man.
Russ.
And
They bet on Russ.
Golly, man. Was like, how dumb do you feel? You're like, well, we've got Alex Caruso, rising star.
Yeah, imagine if they didn't.
Let's get rid of him for Russell Westbrook.
Imagine if they don't take that Russell Westbrook, they re-sign Caruso, and then continue to rebuild. They could have been back in the finals again.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, in my opinion,
The defense that Caruso plays is so underrated.
No, it was underrated in Los Angeles. It is not
Appreciated in Chicago?
It is not under. Maybe I should say it's underappreciated in Los Angeles. It is very appreciated in Chicago. We love seeing Alex Caruso just be like, "Well, looks like I'm going to be a mop today. I'm just on like he's diving
Yeah.
on the floor. He's doing everything."
Yeah, I shared a post, I believe, that was kind of a puff piece of Chicago's love and ode to Alex Caruso.
Hey man,
I hope they lock him up long term and let him stay here because he's
because as soon as they do, that number 6 jersey's coming to me, man. I'm buying me one, but I am not buying it until like I find out
he's
they lock him
committed,
down.
yeah, because still have a feeling like if LA wants him,
He'd go back.
he'd go back.
Yeah, well, and can't blame
He's
him.
he's from Texas.
Yeah,
but
he's from Texas, but he loves Los Angeles.
He just built a house in Austin, so maybe the Mavericks.
bro. I'm here to tell you right now that would really inspire me to be like,
Move
hey,
him from
look,
point to shooting.
yeah. And then you got Luca,
And
then
Caruso.
and the Caruso.
Oh, what do you do with Brunson? We'll figure it all out.
We'll
later.
figure it out.
Anyway,
one day.
anyway,
hey,
neither here nor there.
that might be enough to switch me to a Mavs fan, though.
Oh man,
that'd be tough for me.
that would
though.
be tough.
I'm emotionally invested in Chicago, so
I will say though that does say something that there's a home in Austin.
yeah, it does.
Dallas is not far, neither is Houston. But
Right.
who would want to go to Houston?
Yeah, no, believe me, my older brother lives in Houston.
He doesn't want to be in Houston.
He doesn't want to be in Houston because they have 4 seasons in Houston. They have summer, still summer, Christmas, early summer. So it's just always hot there.
Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas is a season. It's 3
And
days.
It's crisp, like crisp.
Yeah,
Like it's not crisp. It's not
Christmas.
dull. It's like crisp. Like
Yeah,
we're
it's
burnt to a crisp.
Briskmas. It's because that's as cold as it gets. Brisk. Anyway, yeah. Okay. So we've speculated on our trade stuff. So let's just move on.
yeah.
We wanted to talk about the NIL.
By the way, you still didn't pick one. You didn't pick the.
Oh, did
Lakers.
I? I didn't even pick. You know what?
The Knicks or the Lakers?
I think that just because of, and I'm being lazy on this, okay? Because I think it would be easier to build a team in Los Angeles. I would go to Los Angeles.
Okay, and just spitballing question for myself. You trading LeBron first move, or are you going to actually keep him, use him up, just don't re-sign him?
It hurts my heart to say this. I keep LeBron. Because look, it doesn't matter what I feel about him personally.
Yeah.
The dude's a baller, and he is the leader of the team.
Yeah.
So
And it would be
Yeah.
a major reconstruction if you got rid of him.
Exactly. So I would do exactly what you
Okay.
said. I would use him up until he's done, and then I would be like, "Hey,
You
look,
trade
man,
Russ, you trade
Yes.
Davis.
Yeah, no, I do everything I can to keep AD, and I push a trade for Russell Westbrook for Alex Caruso.
Sounds great. I think that right there is a championship mentality. I'm going New York because I feel like there's
Derek,
Derrick Rose, seeing
Yeah.
him on his way out, but there's bare bones there.
Yeah.
But if you could win a championship in New York, it hasn't been done since we're talking way back.
Yeah.
Pat Riley tried to come in there and do it, and he tried his damnedest. He just ran into Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
But if you did something in New York, you would be a legend forever. I feel
True.
like you do it in Los Angeles, you're just another
yeah.
coach.
Hey,
If
good
you
job.
do
You're
it
up there with Phil.
In Utah, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care. Being around all those Mormons would freak me the hell out.
There you go.
I don't want
yeah.
to be there.
Yeah, and they car bomb people, man. I watched the documentary. Don't come at me with that stuff, bruh. Anyway, so let's talk. Let's move off of that since we finally answered. And I actually agree with you, though. I'm sorry, I'm going to touch base on this. I do agree with you with all the bare bones talent there is in New York, and not to mention, like you say, it's the mecca of basketball. You're not going to have a hard time rebuilding a New York team.
Kemba Walker, you got Derrick Rose, you got Mitchell Robinson if they re-sign him, but you could also dangle him as trade bait. You got R.J. Barrett.
Yeah.
You got Obi Toppin, who is an incredible leaper. The athleticism is off the chart. It's just got to put the rest of it together.
Yeah.
I think that they're another star away from being a contender to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And by star, I mean I love D Rose.
Yeah. But
currently
he's on the way out.
Yeah. Hugh and Barrett are the guys right now.
Yeah.
And D Rose is, you time to transition to veteran.
Yeah, and that's just it. He's leaving his prime, which that's not fair. Prime is not a good word, but he is moving into being
off the bench.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm a huge Derrick Rose fan. The truth of the matter is
off the bench.
Off the bench. Yeah, it's time. You're a vet, bro. It's time. Either retire or accept your role player role that you can still ball out. You just can't.
It wasn't time in Minnesota. No. It's time in New York.
It's time.
Off the bench.
Yeah. I agree. Sorry, Derek. Anyway, so let's just move into this college stuff, and it's all sports, but it's the NIL thing, okay? The name, image, and likeness.
Okay, can you explain to our audience what that is? Because I know if, some people listen to this, they may not know what you're talking about.
Sure. So, basically for a lot of years, there was video games and things like that, like NCAA basketball, football, all these kind of things, right? By EA Sports, I believe is who actually made all of them. The same people who make Madden and 2K.
Yeah, same developers, same engines.
Yeah.
The games were a huge success, but the amount of depth that people could put into these games was incredible.
Yeah.
However,
if you played as the Arkansas Razorbacks of today, your quarterback would be a no-named, it would say quarterback number 1.
Yeah.
It would not say Jefferson across the back because you didn't want to have to pay college players. They are being paid with their education being paid for. That was always the mentality.
You play with the Razorbacks, you got a running back number 5.
Exactly.
And his statistics were undeniable.
You knew it was Darren McFadden.
And he was height matched, his ethnicity matched,
his
hair.
facial look was at least similar.
The way the gear was worn matched a similar.
Yep.
But did Darren McFadden gain any money from
Negative.
his image being used in that video game?
No.
Negative.
And so that's why in this past season, we had our first season with athletes who could benefit from this NIL agreement, which just means that players can be paid to represent a company or basically to take on a sponsorship to do it. Like if JD Note did a commercial
within the rules of the NCAA, there's still guidelines. Your school itself cannot directly pay for a player.
That is exactly my point. The player is paid for your name, image, and likeness. That is NIL, name, image, likeness. Mm-hmm. And you are supposed to be paid through a separate company or a business or a whatever that wants you to be a spokesperson or a representative of their company.
Think Michael Jordan, Nike.
Yeah, exactly. Think Michael Jordan, Nike. Think Michael Jordan, McDonald's.
Yeah.
Think, all that is an NIL deal.
Grant Hill, Sprite.
Man, I used to love those. Shaq had them too, didn't he? Didn't Shaq have a
Shaq's had everything.
Yeah,
Shaq has been endorsed from everything.
Yeah, even like
I think Shaq,
Florida
Papa
State,
John's.
Yeah, and I think the Florida State Troopers, they sponsor him. I don't know. Anyway, wasn't he a cop for a minute?
Yes, he was. He was a deputy somewhere in Louisiana.
Was it Louisiana? I thought it was Florida.
Or was it Florida?
I think it was
wherever
Florida.
he was living.
Yeah, I think it was Florida. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Home's Louisiana, California, and Florida. So who knows?
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think he was in Miami at that time. So it was like Dade County.
Yeah, it's like Dade County.
A lot of shady shit going on in Dade County.
Yeah, thank you, Ricky Ross, the boss. Anyway, so name, image, and likeness.
Yeah.
All right. You can be paid for your name, image, and likeness by separate companies, not by the school.
Not at all. Not
Okay?
in any way, shape, or form can your coaching staff or the team itself pay you a salary or give you an endorsement.
Or
it has
even it's even against policies of the NIL and against
to recruit with it.
Yeah, to recruit with it. Well, we can get you, we're here in Arkansas, so I mean, you would think something like, hey, we can get you sponsored with Walmart. You come work with us. And say, you come play for me. I put you on that Walmart money.
All to be fair, that is one of the U of A's largest boosters is Walmart.
Sure, but there's nothing wrong with that. A booster saying, that one, JD Note, I want him to be my speaker, or Jalen Williams, or KJ Jefferson, or whatever. Michael Turner
it's
is
a free market system. Essentially, the way it also was is while Darren McFadden wasn't able to be in that game and they couldn't pay him any money because the rules didn't allow for it. He also then himself couldn't go out and hawk cars under his name and make a bunch of money off of that while playing college football. He was tied to his scholarship and whatever money he had, because you couldn't even have a job. There was a whole bunch of controversy. I believe it was Baker Mayfield had like a fake job or something back in the early when he's a freshman.
Yeah, it just basically cooking the books so
Yeah.
he can show where the
Exactly.
money's coming from, even
Yes.
though that's not where the money's coming
Exactly. So now we live in a world where they can just pay you directly for
Sure.
your image and likeness. And this is why we're having this discussion is, where do you come in on this? How do you feel about this? Because I know that I've noticed it's changed the game.
Yeah,
it's changed
definitely.
it's in the news because Jimbo Fisher and Nick Saban are going at it like caddy.
Yeah, girls, you're both pretty.
Yes.
Look, Jim, that's not true. Girls, you're both hideous. Jimbo, okay, so Nick Saban has accused Jimbo of paying players through the university. It's basically buying players, right?
Yes.
And
then
which I'm pretty sure Nick Saban's been doing that
And
for a
that's
very long time.
Essentially, what Jimbo said
Yeah.
is like it's funny coming from Alabama.
Yeah, exactly.
And also at the same time acknowledging you're not lying, but
yeah, it's like, it's exactly what we're doing. But
it's the name of the game now.
yeah, exactly. But
Well, Nick
here's-
Saban's inferring it's giving it an unfair advantage. Is
You
it?
coach at Alabama. You have an unfair advantage. Well, shut up, Nick. Shut up. Anyway, all I'm gonna. Okay, so with the NIL. Okay, where do I hit on it? Right. On paper, it's just like communism, man. On paper, it looks great. In practice, it's not great. Okay, so NIL stuff, you have like on paper, it's like, yeah, you get paid for your name, image, and likeness from a company that, like, say you do a commercial for them. The company can now pay you to do the commercial, and you can be, I'm Arkansas Razorback point guard JD Note,
Yeah.
and I'm here for Smiles Direct. I don't know. I'm just saying something like that, right?
Local business.
And,
fair enough.
Yeah,
You
and
couldn't even do that before.
no, before you couldn't
Before
do that.
Ed
Now you
O'Barron in
can.
this lawsuit, you couldn't do that before.
Yeah.
You were pigeonholed and stuck to where your
Yep.
income, the limited income you had as a college student.
Yeah.
Well,
So
now
now
the
you
world's
got these guys
your
making all this
oyster.
money.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
got these college athletes or even high school kids being recruited to go into college that are signing deals for millions of dollars for
Yeah.
endorsements.
Yeah, and that's crazy to me. So, so what I'm getting at is this: if it was down to its purest form, right? Commercial that thanks for doing that for me. You can get paid for it.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I think the players deserve that. I'm good with that. What I don't like is what the truth of the matter is. The actual reality of it. That's not what's going on.
No.
Like, sure, you got Odd East Tony doing some dental offices commercial, and that's great. He got paid for it, whatever. But that's not, what do you think? That's the only money he's getting? You know what I mean? Like, it's being used in such a corrupt way.
Well,
it
it comes from boosters, which in itself is kind of like, how comes this money can come from this pool of money
Sure.
that otherwise would have went directly into the university, and instead it's going to these athletes directly. Where's all this money been this whole time? How is it affecting the recruiting?
Yeah.
What's good? What's on the up and up, and what's dishonest? And who's immediately eliminated just because their pocketbook isn't large enough to be able to compete? There's a competitive imbalance.
I would say that is the point I'm getting at. Is the reality of it is that a smaller school, not even a smaller school. I mean, I'm talking about D1 schools here. Yeah. But do you think?
Mississippi State.
Do you think? Yeah, there you go. Do you think Mississippi State
can
brings
compete,
can compete with Arkansas
or
with money.
Florida or Georgia or Alabama.
No, absolutely
not even close. Not with admissions, not with T-shirt sales, not with
nothing.
alumni.
Yeah, there's no way they can compete, and they're like, well, that's not the way it works. That's exactly how it works.
Here, okay, back to Mississippi State. NIL exists. Does Dak Prescott go to Mississippi State?
No
No.
way.
No, they don't offer him enough money.
Yeah, absolutely not. He ends up at Ohio State with Zeke.
Yep.
Or he ends up
This is
QBing for Nick Saban.
This is how this pay for play really takes off.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, on paper it looks great. Reality, I'm on the exact same page.
You can't
are.
police it.
No, there's no
It's
way.
already
because-
out of control. It's 1 year in.
Yeah, we're 1 year in, and you've got big ballers out there at 19 years old that, I mean, look, man, you can't draft them straight out of high school anymore, right?
No, but now they
Or
don't.
I guess actually in basketball you still can.
in the
right?
NBA you can.
Yeah, but
In the
NFL,
no, technically in the NFL you can too.
Oh, okay.
But nobody is going to because it's been proven that you need some time playing football and learning from these universities.
Sure.
So the NFL and football is its own different game because
Sure.
it's a specifically American thing.
Yeah.
Now, as we're learning with the global game of the NBA,
Yeah.
we have these kids playing over in other countries that are incredible. The Australian League is incredible.
Yeah.
The Spanish League is incredible.
Yeah.
And with this young talent from all across the world are now connected.
Yeah.
So we have to open up the game to our American talent to have the opportunity to go be a pro if you want to.
Sure.
Or come play for a university. The issue that comes with, hey, come play for this university is there's the seedy underbelly
Yeah.
of who's recruiting you, how are they recruiting you, why did you decide to go to Texas Tech when you were
Yeah.
recruited by UCLA?
Yeah, right.
That kind of a thing.
Yeah, and you're like, well, I wanted to go to Texas Tech. Nobody wants to go to Texas Tech. Get
It's like,
out of
I'm
here.
a Texas Tech alumni. I don't want to go to that.
Say, I graduated Texas Tech, man. Red Raiders. But look, nobody wants to go. I didn't graduate from
No,
anywhere.
not at all. No.
But I'm
Well,
just saying, yeah, the NIL, man. Once again, whenever I first read it, I was like, that's good, man. That's good for these kids to be able to do this. And then it took 4 minutes, and I was like, oh, greed set in. We're good.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I feel like the SEC took over. Is what happened.
Yeah.
That was the thing in the you could see in hindsight that was going to happen all along is the SEC was going to grab a hold of this and run with it.
Yeah.
And
we did.
And that's when the big dogs in the South who run college football and make all the money
Yep.
did what they did.
Yeah, and I'm not going to mention names, but
Yeah,
Nick
but-
Saban.
Yeah,
you know.
the Alabama, Florida, Tennessee,
Yeah.
Georgia, Arkansas.
Yeah.
All of these schools they just attack with
well,
money. When they open the pocketbooks, and that's how you can start getting the talent. But hey, if that's the name of the game, until you change the rules or create something that says that they can, or this is as far as they can push it.
Yeah.
But the problem is there's antitrust laws that prevent the NCAA from doing it.
Yeah, it's crazy
This went
because
to
like
the Supreme Court.
Yeah, this is insane because okay, so on
Pandora's out of the box. Bro.
Yeah, exactly. And so on a personal note, here's what I think. I think it is foolish to give an 18, 19-year-old kid millions of dollars. I think it's foolish. I'm not saying that not ever one of them could ever manage. I mean, look at LeBron James. He's a billionaire.
Yeah.
And he started getting, he signed a
But
$95
he
million
is a
Nike
unicorn.
contract.
He is a
at 18.
unicorn.
Exactly. He is. I mean, seriously, he managed his money. He took care of himself. He took care of his mama. So there is a side of LeBron James I got respect for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he is a unicorn, bro. I know it about made me puke. You saw it. I saw you smiling at me. I think it's a dangerous premise to do that, especially. I just think about myself at 18 years old. You know, I was not mature enough for money.
You would have you'd even now you've admitted that you'd take the highest bidder, but
I promise, bro.
but imagine if something like that was put in front of you, and you had an opportunity for further advancement in education, like you'd done really well in school or something. You were really
Yeah.
smart, and you had an opportunity to go to college, or you had an opportunity like, bro, you're not even going to attend a single class. I promise. Yeah, exactly. You're going to take the money from the guy over here.
Yeah, I'm going to go to that shady dude
Yeah.
who said, I don't have to go to class and you're going to give me money.
Yeah, and then we'll make sure that you go into the NBA draft.
Yeah, it'll be like,
Yeah.
done. Let's do
done.
that.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
I want to go with him.
Yeah, I'm in.
Good choice, kid.
Yeah, exactly, man. Thanks, Mr. Shady Guy in the corner. I'll take your money. They were like, do you want some candy? I was like, I'll take my shirt off for a Snickers. I'm next.
Truffle shuffle.
Yeah, man. I would. I'm afraid I'd whore myself out for,
But
to
no, I
any
see what
team
you're
if I
saying.
was
You're
that
too
kid.
young to have that level of to be able to understand that decision that you're making.
Sure. And here's the deal. You're still in school, okay? And I know that this probably is just a me opinion thing. That's it. But I feel like if you're drafted like Kobe or like LeBron, straight out of high school into the pros, guess what? You have started your career, which makes you an adult at the age of 18, which means if you want to make your millions, go make them because it's no one else's responsibility, no one else.
Here's a W-2.
Yeah, exactly. File your taxes. Enjoy. And they're like, what's this? I'm like, yeah, the government robs you at
It's
least.
like, oh, you're from Los Angeles. Here's a W-4. Be sure to read the fine print.
I know. It's like, here you go. That's for the feds to rob you. Well, what's this one for? That's for your state to rob you. Well, what's this one for? Well, that's a pistol, so I'm going to rob you. No, I'm kidding.
What's this for? That's your direct deposit information. Please put that on the form so we can pay you not what you're worth.
And they're like, that's a good number. All right, fair enough. But no, I mean, I feel like you started your career, you started your life, give them their millions, whatever. I don't care. But when you're still in college and like your decisions can impact a team and a community and, all that kind of stuff. And I understand that pros can too. I don't know, man. I feel like my opinion is kind of a double standard, to be honest with you. I just feel like if you're still in school, the privilege to be able to play ball and have your education paid for is payment enough.
That I agree. That's always been what they would have said in the past.
Yeah.
Now, I just have issue with the purity of amateur sport is now gone.
It is.
So if you're going to
because-
open this up, we need to at least all have the same rules. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree,
Somebody
man.
needs to look at this rule book and try to make everything fair because if you're going to play this game, you need to have all things equal. Otherwise, you guys better get used to hearing Roll Tide.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's just. What do you say? I wish that. I wish it was exactly what it was supposed to be. Hey, now if you do an advertisement for a company, they can pay you, and it's no problem. You won't get in any kind of trouble, and you can still play ball and keep your scholarship. But now you have a scholarship, and then you get contracts. The days of hard-nosed NCAA basketball are over. I got to stay healthy, man, so I can keep these checks coming in. That's going to be the mentality, just like it got in the pros. Now, I will say this. In the past 3 years, the pros have stepped up, and it's gotten better.
Yeah.
Because they're like, basketball kind of sucks now. We should start, hitting each other. That's been fun. I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you, I've seen the
you
NBA.
like the influx of harder,
Physicality, man.
harder football.
Yeah,
harder basketball.
Yeah,
I
do,
said what I
man.
said.
Yeah, I said what I said. Yeah, man. I think it's, yeah.
I've been enjoying the physicality. I just wish that the refs. It didn't feel like the referees control the game with their whistle.
Yeah, that's annoying. But it's because they don't like Draymond, man. They'll let him stab somebody on the court, but they don't like him. I'm like, bro, I don't know what else you want from it. If they're letting you get away with all that, they don't have to like you.
They love Clay. I don't understand what you're talking about. They don't love you guys.
Yeah, sound like a whiny troublemaker.
I heard Vegas picked the Celtics. I heard a lot of people pick the Celtics that are from Boston area. However, I heard ESPN go hard on Golden State. So I think the media loves you, Draymond.
Yeah,
I
for
think
real.
you're trying to build up this character where the world hates you.
Yeah, and
when
I'm like,
really,
bro, they still hate Dennis. Okay, like you ain't nothing. This has been 20 years. They still hate Dennis.
they still boo him.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. Look, unless you got anything else you want to put in, I'm gonna wrap this up.
I'm good, brother.
All right, cool, man. Hey, thank you guys for staying in with Garbage Time Sports. You basically listen to us ramble about our sports opinions, and we talk about the Bulls a lot. So, but if you want to hear anything specific, oh yeah, hey, baseball's still going on too. Whatever.
Yankees win, Yankees win, Yankees win.
Yeah, and that's what we'll be saying in October. You heard right. Anyway,
Don't add us.
yeah, don't, at this point, actually, don't or do. Who cares? Thanks, guys. Garbage Time Sports. We'll be back again next week. Have some more information on the finals, and God, then we'll be officially into baseball and baseball alone. Well, we'll still have Stanley Cup for a couple weeks.
We're nearing it, though.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for sticking with us, guys. BT, Hootie, out.
Later.